Hey, we are The Recipe. We are on episode 3. I'm Chelsea.
I am Mika.
And I'm Stormy.
And we have a special guest with us on episode 3, Miss Julie Gray.
Julie Gray. Welcome, Julie Gray, to The Recipe.
So for those of you guys who don't know who Julie Gray is, Julie, how about you tell us who you are, where you're from?
I am originally born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. I spent almost 10 years bouncing around Europe. Resided in Florida, and I moved to Houston 2 years ago.
Wow. So what brought you to Houston? Why Houston?
A fresh start. I was going through a divorce. One of my best friends had moved here, and she was like, "You should come to Houston for a fresh start." And I had never been here before. So I came here with my 2 kids exactly 2 years ago to start over, make a new life for myself, and here I am.
Welcome home.
Yes, welcome home. This is home now.
Yes.
Okay, so of course you've already answered you're not a Houston native, so you're from Boston. How was it like living in Boston?
What is Boston like?
Yeah.
Right? I've never been.
It's like a smaller New York City.
Oh, really?
Cold as hell. Too cold. I would never go back to snow after living there and growing up there. I like the warm climate now, but yeah, it's definitely cold.
Okay, so Playhouse, which you created, was super dope.
Super dope.
I went at least 3 times to take pictures in there.
Yeah.
Me too. See, I was like a regular.
Yeah. So how did you get the idea? What was the inspo behind it? And like that, tell us a little bit more about that.
So I love art. I love street art. And since moving here, I really wanted to bring something to the city that it was kind of lacking in my eyes. So I wanted to highlight street art in a sense that I could bring what's like on the outside of 4 walls, the graffiti, onto the inside of 4 walls, but also making it where, it's 4D. You can touch and feel everything and give people, a sense of, okay, this is art in another form, where it's also installations outside of the actual murals that were in the building.
That's dope. I loved it. When I went in, I was like, "Yo, this is dope. Take a picture here. Take a picture here." It was dope. It was very creative. You're right. I mean, people has tried to mimic it, but it's not. What's next? Playhouse is gone. So what's next? We can have someone else to get our Instagram worthy pics.
So I've been working on other projects. I've been doing like a lot of work on actual buildings here. So after I had closed Playhouse, a lot of people approached me to, paint the outside of their buildings. So I've been doing that, but I've also been looking for another space to do another Playhouse, like a Playhouse 2.0, upgraded, better, a better version, especially here, for the people here in the city.
You're from Boston, so did you meet a lot of new people doing Playhouse, or it was already?
Yeah, I met a lot of people because I made sure after opening Playhouse that I sat at the door every single day. You guys should know. I sat there and greeted everyone who came through the door on purpose because I wanted to meet everyone here just because I didn't know, but I also wanted to get a sense of feeling of how you guys took to what I was doing, and how it made you feel after that.
And it was like you never really followed anyone. You just let them do their own thing, and it was just free to do whatever, no time limit. Everything was on you. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
So my question is, why Houston? What made you choose Houston?
It's something different, and it is the 4th largest city in America. There's a lot of opportunity here, and I think it's a great place to do business and raise a family at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's growing every day.
Yes.
So definitely.
Yes.
So you being from Boston, was it hard to get your feet wet in Houston? So you're from coming from Boston, brought yourself to Houston. Was it hard for you to make these connections, rub these shoulders to get something so dope done? Like how hard was that?
To be honest, I've been so used to bouncing around and living in different places. I lived out of a suitcase for almost 10 years, living all around Europe. So that transition wasn't hard. And actually opening Playhouse, I kind of did it on a whim. I woke up one day and was like, this is what I want to do. And I actually just went and did it by myself. I didn't tell my friends, I didn't tell my family. I kind of just went and did it.
Wow.
Because I knew what I wanted. I had a vision in my head. So I said, let me just go ahead and
How long did that take you to finish? Like
6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Building
from start to
something in
finish,
6 weeks.
Yeah, it took me 6 weeks to open the door.
I'm not gonna lie, I was calculating. I was like, okay, she sees 10 people a day. That was like
conceptually, like, yeah,
it was easy. You just
And I wanted to create a space. It wasn't really about the money. It was more so like, what can I bring to the city for the people here that's different?
Yeah.
You know, and I am a curator of art. Like, I love art, but I wanted to incorporate art and music together.
Yes.
And create like a vibe. And that's exactly what you got when you came there. From the
It's
music that I
definitely
played,
a vibe,
you know,
yeah.
to what you were experiencing. And that's what I really wanted to capture. Building an experience for everyone who came through the door.
That's dope. From you, did you get backlash from you not being from Houston? People like you had like a whole Houston room theme. Did you like?
Yeah, so I kept everything based around Houston because honestly, I wanted it to be for Houston by Houston. I'm not from Houston, but
Yes.
But
every
you'd have some people be like, she not
even
Houston,
from
so what
here,
is she?
yeah.
but every artist that I like hired to be in the building, they are all from Houston. It was
No.
8 artists that I used, and they're all Houston based here. So that was cool. Outside of the art that I brought in, you know, the actual murals on the wall were all done by Houston based artists.
Oh,
So
dope.
what was one of your favorite rooms?
I really like them all, to be honest, because they're all so different. You know, I made sure every mural in there was different.
Yeah.
Every room had its own look and feel. I don't know. To me, I really enjoyed all of them. To be honest. I didn't have a
I had two
favorite.
favorite
You
rooms.
had
I
two
had like the Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
The pink, and then I liked the little balls.
The ball
one
pit.
with the ball.
Yeah, the ball pit, yeah.
That was like, I had a dope ass picture.
Yeah.
My picture was like dope as hell.
I think
but-
for all the adults that came in there, they're like, you know, for the ball pit, it was like an experience
Yeah, that
in
was
itself.
dope.
Because honestly, when was the last time you were in a ball pit before
Not
that?
at all.
You know, so.
Yeah, that was.
So I noticed that you said that you didn't tell anybody, you didn't tell your family, you didn't tell your friends. How was the support? Like once you opened it and you let everybody know, okay, I'm gonna do this. Was it received well
I think
from
they-
family and friends, or what were they thinking? How
They
were you
all
feeling?
thought I was crazy. They were like, what are you doing over there? Because every day they were like, you're building stuff. And it's like, what are you doing? I was like, just
wait.
Yeah, just wait.
But after the doors open, I think like, you know, coming in through the doors and actually experiencing everything, they're like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
I said, this is a house of me. Like, you know, when you come in, I said, this is everything I love in a house. And it's
Yes.
me giving it back to the city for you guys all to have something.
It was dope.
you
You
know,
had
place to
people,
go.
I remember I went one time and Slim shot a video there. And I'm like, you got people wanting to shoot their videos here. Like, this
that's
is
what
like,
it turned out to be.
this is like, okay, this is
Super dope.
bigger than you even thought. Like,
Yes.
so like, you got to meet a lot of dope people being
Yeah,
here.
yeah, for sure.
So when you were planning it, did you think that it was gonna be as big as it was? Like seeing everybody on their timeline, like taking pictures there. Like Stormy said, she liked the Barbie room, she liked the balls.
Yeah.
Like, did you imagine that it was gonna get that big? That
It was like
nice?
from one tag.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who was your
honestly-
first customer?
I
How
didn't know, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't know how people would take to it. So what happens before I opened it, the Houston Chronicle came in and did a whole article.
Oh wow,
And
that's
so my first, you know, customers that came through the door was like this old white couple that like, you know, because it's like the Chronicle
Yeah,
crowd.
yeah.
So, and you know, they're like, oh, new art gallery. So okay. I was like, I didn't know. So when they came through the door, I was like, listen,
Oh my God.
I don't know if this is gonna be what you think it is,
Yeah,
but if
yeah.
you do not enjoy yourself,
They
and
were
you
looking
hate
for
it,
sculptures and everything.
yeah, I told them if you absolutely hate it, I will give you your money back.
Right,
like
right,
just, but I told them just go and see.
Have fun.
Oh man, and they had such a great time. And the old man was like, I have not taken pictures on my phone like ever. And he was in there taking pictures of everything. He's like, I need to tell my son and my daughter
Yeah.
because this
Yeah.
is something so different, you
Dope.
know. But I wanted to make sure to create something now that highlighted art and that you could really come and touch and feel. Because you know, a lot of the murals out in the city, you see it when you drive by, but you guys don't ever really stop, right?
Exactly.
It's like something you see. So I wanted to bring that in the atmosphere that you could touch and feel. And
Absolutely.
See, like, you know, the different
Absolutely.
paint, the strokes and everything. And so that's what happened.
I like that.
With you creating Playhouse, I know the funding had to be crazy for that. Did you use your own money for
I
this?
used my own money.
Oh,
Yeah, it was my
wow.
concept, my own money. Nobody helped me with anything. I really was just like, you know, I want to do this. Whether it goes well or not, you know, it's an learning experience for me too, you know? But I don't do anything without running numbers first, obviously, you know? So, give and take, I was like, you know, whether or not I make any money from this, it's okay. As long as I
Something
could
you
build
guys do.
something.
Checklist.
Yeah, checklist
Yeah,
to
you
do.
believed in it.
It's something that I loved and believed in. And, you know, you never know what can happen from doing something like this. and which I didn't know. So after opening it, it
Dope.
catapulted
You don't
into
even need
so
to be
many
about the
other
money. It'd be
things.
more so like
the passion.
experience
Yeah.
and the passion and the new people that you just got to meet. You build friendships, you build business, you build
Yeah.
so many things in one. So
Yes.
that's dope.
Definitely.
Super live.
So, of course, you had a part in creating Fabulous's birthday dinner, correct?
Not his birthday dinner. It was his album release.
Right, the album
So
release.
So he's
So,
a friend
yes.
of mine. He had come into Playhouse also, but yeah, I know him, and he had talked to me. He wanted to do something here in Houston. He loves Houston, by the way. So he had called and said, you know, Houston's gonna be one of his stops for his promo. He was like, I want you to help me curate this dinner, you know, and some events of what he wanted to go on here. So
That dinner was dope.
yeah,
That dinner was
it was
super dope. It
pretty
looked
cool.
like classic, like
Yeah.
like wow.
So it's pretty cool, you know, building these friendships with people, these bonds with people where, you know, when they do come to the city, they call you first.
How do you
Yeah.
how do you pick who comes? And did you like why you invite me? Like
Yeah.
did you get in here? Like
Yeah.
Well, mine, like, well, my
I want to go. Look, can I go?
Yeah. So had to make sure, you know, everyone that came through there was somebody in the city that, you know, was not.
we're gonna touch on that because I want your feedback on like who is someone in the city?
Like
How
how
do you-
influential, like how do
Yeah.
you determine, you know, who
Yeah,
gets to
and,
come?
You
who
know,
gets the golden ticket?
Yes.
So go ahead.
but you know, it was off of him too. You know,
Okay.
him letting me know, like, okay, these are the definite people that I want to be in there, and then
Okay.
we just bounce off of that. You know, it was a limited seating, so obviously I had to be very picky and choosy with who was going there. But you know, everything is not for everybody,
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
and you know, that's something that.
You have to
I
learn that. And you
definitely-
gotta tell people who are around you, like, baby girl, you got to sit this one
Look,
out.
see this one out.
Wait, was there anybody in there was like, who let you in?
Yeah.
I think that happened at one point. Some people showed up, and I was like, "You definitely weren't invited."
Like,
You know,
yeah.
but they didn't have a seat, so they had to leave, and then they came like once it was over. But it was kind of like
Why are you here? Okay.
How did you get in? Yes.
somebody who goes,
Ooh, girl, you were not invited.
Like, stop. Not on the list.
"Yeah."
So, Julie, what would be your advice for like young female entrepreneurs that are like on the rise, who are like really just trying to come into their own and kind of like build something? Like, you're not from here, you came here, you made it happen. What would be your advice to someone who's really just trying to, you know, start their own business or just trying to really go for it? What would be your advice?
I think for me, my advice would be to think about what differentiates you from everybody else. You know,
I like
I look
that.
for that in people
I like
in general.
that.
You know, what makes you different? Because there could be 1,000 people doing the same thing, but
Yeah.
if you do something that's just a little bit different, it's going to stand
Yes.
out.
I love that.
You know, so, and I am very strong on that. And
Yeah.
I myself feel like I'm different from
Yeah.
the norm. You know, by the way I look, I carry myself, you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm not scared to
Yeah.
stand out and be on my own.
I love that.
And I've always been like this since I was a child. You know, if everyone is going for, you know, everything that's pink over there,
Yeah.
I'm going to go for the black thing
Yes,
because nobody
yes.
else wants
I love that.
You know, so, and
That's
I feel
dope.
like in business, it's what sets you apart.
I love
you know,
that.
what makes you different. Because I am always going to be that person that looks to what's different.
Yes.
You can all go buy the same thing.
But
if-
you're gonna do it in a
I'm
different
gonna
way.
look yeah.
I love that.
So I feel like in business and entrepreneurship, you know, I think that's a key thing in what you have to, you know,
I
to,
love that.
Set you
yeah,
apart.
Yes.
what
Which
sets
is
you
gonna
apart.
put you ahead of the game.
Yeah,
I
and
love
to
that.
never, and what sets you apart, and to not give up. You know,
love that.
Yep.
it's gonna be ups and downs no matter what, and what you do in business. You know, there's gonna be good days, bad days. You're gonna fall down many
Yes.
times, but it's if you don't get back up, what's the point, right?
Exactly.
And you just never know.
Exactly.
You know, you could fall down 10 times, but that 11th time you get up, it could be something that sets you, like, you know, up from, forget
Yes.
all the times you
Yes.
fell
Said
down.
that on the
Yes.
What?
You did say that.
What advice would you give younger Julie? Like, if you could start over and do this all over.
I could still listen. Take my time. Take my time in everything that I do. I feel like society nowadays makes you feel like you have to rush.
Oh,
It's like
yes.
a race for everybody
Yes.
to get to the finish line.
I
But
agree.
what is the finish line?
True.
You know, it's never ending, honestly.
right.
So if I could give advice to my younger self, it's to take my time with everything, with relationships, with kids, with business, with
That's right.
friendships, you know, because nothing happens overnight.
It doesn't.
And I feel like you know, social media and society nowadays makes you feel like everything is like overnight. Like, oh, if it doesn't happen right away, it's not going to happen. But that's not the case, you know. And it's like what I always tell my son when he rushes through his homework. I said, if you rush through it, you're not going to do it right, and you're going to have to do it over. And it's going to take you even more time because you have to sit there and do it over again. Whether or not you want to do it, but if you would have just taken your time the first time you did it,
would have came out perfect. That's right.
So I'm a mom. Chelsea's a mom. Her mom's. How hard is it, like, juggling everything that you're doing and being mommy? Like,
So it was hard at first, you know, being a single mom after my divorce, you know, with 2 kids, starting over, and I was a housewife the whole time I was married. You know, I lived overseas, I didn't work, I just took care of home, my ex-husband and my kids. So transitioning from that into the real world, because really it wasn't a real world, right? As a housewife, you live in this whimsical little bubble. And when my bubble got popped, I was like, oh shit, like what do I do? I have 2 kids and I'm on my own, you know? And it was a hard time because when I went through that, my mom passed away at the same time from cancer. So it was like, oh, I'm just out here by myself with these 2 kids. Like, what am I gonna do? But that honestly made me who I am now. It caused me to like go out there. It gave me strength to be like, you know what? I gotta figure it out. No one's gonna hand anything to me. So what am I gonna do?
Exactly.
You know, and for that, I inspired myself from going through what I went through to say, you know what? If I'm not gonna do anything else, I have to do this for my children. You know,
Turn their test into a testimony.
And what people don't realize is even being a house mom and stuff and a housewife, like that's a job too. Like doing that with the kids, like that's definitely a job. Like that's like work in itself. So what's next for you? Like what's next? You did the Playhouse, you done Fab's party. Like what do you have next? We need some more pictures. We need to go.
what are you doing today? Like, what do we need to know?
So
what is next?
I literally now, I'm trying to find another building, like I said, to do another Playhouse, to do another interactive art gallery here. For sure, I'm going to do that. It's just the matter of finding the right space here. Houston's so big; it's so many different spaces here, and it's like I'm looking for the right one. So I'm going to work on that, and I'm actually working on trying to build something here that's like year round.
I love that.
So do you see like, oh, she stole my idea. Like, do you
You know, say like deal with some hate and stuff, like what?
Like, do you be like this copycat? Like,
not necessarily, no, because I live in my own world. I don't really pay attention to that. I don't, and I've taught myself to train my mind to think like you can't worry about what other people are doing.
I love that.
If you worry about what other people are doing, you're never gonna get ahead because you're gonna be so stuck on like, oh, but she's doing what I'm doing, so I don't really want to do it. No,
what's for you is for you.
Exactly.
Target sells bread, Walmart sells bread.
Oh, that bread house
sells bread. So nobody's copying off nobody. What's for you is for you, and vice versa. I never think nobody is copying off of. You can't. You just do your own thing.
But even if they are, I would use that as motivation. Like, oh, I inspired this person, but what am I going to do that's better than what they're doing?
Exactly.
You know, and I feel like there's room for everybody, especially with business and whatever. Like, there's so much room for everybody where you don't have to hate on what the next person's doing.
That's right.
You know, because it's like, just because someone else is doing it, so what?
Right.
We had a conversation about this too.
It's a table for everybody.
And for everybody. Okay, so let's just say, like, I had this conversation. What are you gonna do if a girl is selling the same shirt you're selling? Okay, I told her, I said, well, you need to go ahead and remix that shirt.
Yeah, style different. Yeah.
You know, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, you have your own, like, clients.
we're talking about that, making
yeah.
it's like. It's time I was about to drop something. I seen someone else do it. And I was discouraged. Like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, what the?
But
fuck?
you gotta get out of that mindset.
I definitely gotta get out of that mindset because it's like the world is doing the same. Someone copied someone to get there. Like stuff was being invented in the 80s, and we redoing it all now. So it's like, I can't think like that. If I'm trying to get the bag, then I need to just do my thing.
Do it in your own way.
My customers are not her customers, so therefore, we're so different. But yeah, some stuff, that's why. Julie's my friend.
Yes. No, so our next topic, we were all discussing this and stuff, and you kind of touched on this a little bit. We were talking about support and lack thereof of support. Do you feel like you have friends and you feel like, oh, I've done things and they haven't been supportive to you, or you've come out with stuff and they haven't acknowledged that you had something going on? Like, have you dealt with stuff like that before?
I have in a sense of like, unfortunately, when you think people are your friends and like they're supposed to be supportive.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes your friends want you to do good, but never
Better than them. Oh my God, I say that
Yeah.
all
And
the
it's
time.
unfortunate.
But even so, is that even a friend?
But then that's what it goes back to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really look at your relationship with this person. Like, are you really my friend at the end of the day? And for me, it takes for something else or someone else to put you on this platform, or and then other people come after the fact.
Yes.
But then at that point, you already know what it
It's
is.
too late. They don't want to be a part of the movement until they see it moving, and then since the bus is
girl,
gone,
bye.
it's too late.
Look, baby girl, bye. Look, baby girl, bye. That's Stormy's favorite word.
I really feel like we have to stop placing our expectations and how we perceive things and how we feel and how we would have done something on other people. Just because I would have reposted or shared or tagged
don't mean that
or
they're gonna do
supported doesn't mean that
Yeah.
everybody else is going to do it. And even so, the people who don't do it or support me just the same, they're not my real friends.
Yeah.
And that just showed me they're making room for the people that need to be in my life.
Right.
The people who don't support you are going to support you. And the people that you think that's your friends and not supporting, bye sis, you're just making room for the people who belong in your life.
And
So-
support doesn't mean like I have this boutique. It doesn't mean like to buy, because not everybody. I don't know what your money's like. I can't judge you off of
Or
that.
that's not even that might not even be their style.
That might just not be what they like, but that doesn't mean that you can't purchase or you don't like it. Man, repost, like, tag,
follow,
say
it's free.
something, put a heart, do something, and just let me know. Like, or not even if you don't want social media to even know you did that, text me and be like, yo, I see you. You're doing a good job. That's all it takes. That's support. Like, I don't need you to buy shit. Like, that's handled. Just tell me I'm doing great, bro. Keep going. I see you. You're doing a good job. That's what we need. And if you ain't doing that and you say you my friend, bro, you're not.
The door's closed.
Door's closed.
I mean, that's just me. I have a whole brunch, the third one that I'm putting together, and people that I thought were my friends haven't even shared the flyer, haven't even tapped like on the flyer. Sis, I mean, I don't need you there.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, we are not worried about those. So
We're not
what is
worried.
going to be your recipe for those who are not supporting? What's your recipe, girl?
I would even give them a recipe. I would give myself the recipe. Stop putting so many expectations on other people, because you're gonna be let down entire time. Focus on what you're doing, and the people who are gonna support you are gonna be there. And the ones that's not supporting, they don't need to be there. So the recipe in this situation is to me.
Yes, and I really like what Julie said when she was just like, she don't really focus on anybody. And honestly, Jay-Z said something like that too. Like, he don't care what nobody else is doing. Like, he's just focused on art.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not focused on what you doing. I'm just
Tunnel
focused on what
vision.
I'm doing.
Will Smith
And-
said something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we just cannot, like, if I worry about what you two said and Julie said, like, I would get nowhere in life. Like, I gotta make sure I'm just worried about what Stormy's doing, like, and make sure that I'm doing it good and I'm setting an example for the next person. Somebody's watching me, like,
And your
someone's watching
intentions
me,
are
like,
good every time. That's the
like-
main thing, because people can see past the bullshit
Oh,
and the
yeah,
fluff
yeah.
and the facade. Just make sure your intentions are good, and the people who for you gonna come.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Julie, so you're a mom, entrepreneur, single mom. Got so much things going on. We're proud of you. Like, we brought you on the show because
Appreciate
I'm like, she is dope. Like,
Very
who is
dope.
dope? Who's doing something dope in Houston right now? We were sitting here and I'm like, first person let's bring Julie. So
Most
you're
definitely
dope. You're into sneakers, heavy.
Yes.
Today, Julie,
Let me try to get myself together and get out of my norm. And you guys are all here.
Yes.
Looking fly. This is what I would dress like on a normal day.
Yes, but she is
On a
totally
normal
fly.
day.
So Julie, shout out your Instagram pub. Tell everybody where they can
No, but
find you.
wait.
Oh,
We're
what?
skipping one thing. Julie was on my favorite sneaker app. I'm not gonna forget this. We're gonna talk about that real quick.
Yes.
On my favorite sneaker app where I get all my shoes where they deny me. Sometimes I don't win. I don't get the shoes. And just be like, ooh. But
I'm getting lucky.
she was on that, and like, how did that come about? Like, sure.
It was so random. So they were trying to highlight someone here in Houston, and I guess my name was thrown out there, and immediately they're all like, "Yes, Julie."
Julie.
So they contacted me and was like, "Hey, so the people from Nike and sneakers, they're trying to put something together for Houston here to highlight Houston leading up to Astroworld.
Yeah.
They're like, they want you, So they ended up
How did you feel about
flying
that?
here.
Like, that is so
It interesting. It was very interesting. It was really cool though,
Yeah.
to say the least.
They
It was
did
a
a good
dope
job on
experience.
your whole,
It was nice. I let them into my house and they got to follow me around for a day and see what I do in the city and all
That was
that.
dope. That was dope. What is your favorite sneaker? Like what?
Oh
is
yeah,
your
what is
favorite
that?
The ones, any ones.
Oh,
They don't even know Jesus. I didn't have
Me for sure. OG ones
OG
are my
ones.
number one.
What was the other one you said?
3s and 11s, but
Yeah.
but my favorite shoe, the one that I have the most, I have 16 pairs of ones.
Yes.
And ones are my favorite one. Like ones today, like for a man, even you go to the club and you got some straight jeans on with little clip right
bra.
here. Like
Yeah.
ones are like dope. Like you can approach me with some ones all day long. I don't
Yeah.
really know like.
I prefer ones. Like I don't care
I
about
said
men
that.
wearing designer shoes. and all
Yeah,
that.
and
I
you
don't
just have
care,
on
you
a
know.
sneaker, like a one.
My favorite
Yeah.
ones are classic. Ones you can wear out and you'll be just totally fun. One for me, I like ones because my foot don't look fat. Like 3s, I love 3s, but my foot look fat in 3s.
You feel like your foot look fat in 3s? I like ones, I like 3s. I'm not gonna lie, like I like a few of the designer ones, but for sure ones and 3s.
Ones are my favorite.
Ones
I say
are
that.
my favorite. Because ones.
They
So
go
when,
down with
today when
that.
I'm like, Julie's coming on the show.
I would have sitting there like, oh my god.
You gave us a
I
wild
got some
card.
boots today.
Literally, you gave us a wild card, cheetah girl.
Well, don't even worry, she is super, super dope. And Julie, let everyone know where they can find you. What's your Instagram? Tell them what's next. Like, give them all of that, 'cause she's fly,
Yeah,
okay?
So my Instagram is Jules OXO, I think. Yeah. Oh
Look,
yeah.
here you go. Look, pull it up. Tell them what the
I
jam
think
is.
it is. Yeah. So
Because she is cooking up some really dope places
Yeah.
for us to take some
Jules
photos. We need our
OXO.
Instagram. It's Jules OXO?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, so
When can
follow
we
her.
expect in the Playhouse? Like when?
Playhouse 2.0.
By summer.
2.0.
By
Yeah,
summer.
by
So
summer.
hopefully I find a building soon. I can build it out in the spring and it'll be open by summer again. So
And we coming first. We coming
Yes,
in
we're gonna come
Yeah.
first. Get the
Yeah.
exclusive.
You guys gonna be there before the doors even open. For
Yes.
sure.
Julie is so nice. We all met her like a couple months ago. We were going to do our recipe episodes in the whole Playhouse shop, but she was gonna be unfortunately closing, and then
Yeah.
but that's coming. We coming.
We coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna shoot there. First exclusives.
So, yeah.
What's up?
Thank you for being on the episode, and just for a recipe for anybody that's out there. What would you tell a young lady who is wanting to go with her dream but don't know
in the
where to
art
go?
world.
In the art world. Yes.
Like I said before, just don't give up. You know, there's a million people doing art or whatever else, and like I said, what sets you apart and utilize who you know. That is something that I always tell people. Sometimes, of course, you never stop learning, right? What you know is obviously important, but who you know sometimes is the most important part. You know, your network sometimes is your net worth, and I
Yes.
truly believe in that.
Yes.
For sure. And I keep a circle around me of everybody who's somebody that's doing something.
Yes.
And to motivate each other every single
Because
day.
art is a whole creative mind.
Yeah, but art can be anything. It's not
Right.
just canvas,
Yeah.
paint. No, art is
art is
music,
creative.
art
Yes.
is
Clothes,
clothes, design.
yes.
Like,
A person who loves
Expressive.
art, a person who loves art, 9 out of 10 they fly as fuck. Like,
Yes.
because they have this, it's just natural to them. So
Yeah.
I feel like now too in the culture, art is like a thing, right?
Mhm.
Everybody's
Oh, yeah.
into
Into
art
art,
now
yeah.
without really educating themselves on actual art.
everybody, like y'all know, I'm a sneaker girl. Everybody loves
It's like a culture.
sneakers.
It's
Like,
a culture.
where did y'all come from? Like, like who
We
did
had
y'all?
to talk to us and man,
Yeah.
when I first got here 2 years ago, girls were not wearing sneakers
No,
like
now
that.
it's like with the dresses
Now it's
and
like-
everything.
It's like the Nike socks with the ones.
Yeah.
No, it's because it's Instagram. People
Like,
just
you
really
know
get
what's
inspired and
I
stuff.
remember Air Force Ones was sold out all last summer.
yes.
You couldn't get a pair.
It's
Like,
so crazy because when I first moved here and I went out to a club, I said, man, everyone wears heels here to go
Yes.
out. And I'm like, I'm not that girl.
Me either.
I'm
Yes,
not sneakers,
yes.
but everyone had heels on. And I was like, okay,
I'm
I'm
the
not putting
friend.
no heels on just
Yes,
wearing
exactly.
I'm that friend
Casual.
where it's like, what the fuck? Why we all got on heels and you got on sneakers?
You gotta stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
Like my fiance, when we first started dating, he would always like, "Here, I'm buying you these shoes." And in the beginning, I was just like, "I don't want to always wear. I want to put me on a heel. I'm grown." But I mean, hey, it's like a vibe.
It's the world
Like,
today.
it's the world today, you know?
They killing over Travis Scott's and Jordans and all
Yeah.
that
But
shit.
you know what's crazy? When I first started wearing sneakers, I've always been a sneakerhead. But after I had kids, like my son, he's 10 now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with a boy.
But he never
It's-
like,
yeah, you have to.
I would be like, oh, my back hurts. I'm
Yes.
not dressing up to go nowhere.
have to.
I'd be like, I'm wearing sneakers.
Yes, you
wherever.
have to.
We be getting the same sneakers, we matching.
Yes, oh, I'm all for like matching with the boo. Like,
Mika, you
don't
can't
have a
relate
little-
to this.
No, I don't have kids. I'm getting a dog next week.
I'm getting the dog, but you have boo, and you know, with your boo, you be matching your sneakers
I
and
mean,
stuff.
we
So
match
you
sneakers, but I don't have a kid.
Listen, take your
Yes.
time.
Take your
I always
Oh,
time.
baby,
take your
hey,
time.
listen, I'm going 2 miles per hour.
Once
not
you
50.
have them, you can't give them back.
yes, you can, and you will never sleep the
I'm
same.
good. I like to travel. I like to
Yes,
do my own
exactly.
thing, so I'm good.
She's like, I'm good. You'll be Aunt Mika. I'll bring Carter over to you.
Nah, I love kids. It's just
Like,
No.
not yet.
they're not coming out.
Yes.
Take your time with
Well,
that.
definitely are some cool moms over here, and we are so
A
happy.
cool auntie.
Yeah, well, look, you're a cool auntie. Well, Julie, it was so great chatting with you. We're so happy you are our first guest, and we're so happy that you were
I'm so
here.
glad you guys had me on
So
here.
definitely like and subscribe to the recipe, and also give us your recipes and comment below with some advice that you would have and what's your recipe for women that are on the rise. And make sure to follow Julie on Instagram, and she will have some really dope Instagram worthy spots for us to take pictures. So we were so happy to have
Thank
you,
you guys
and
so
thank
much.
you
I
for being on the
appreciate it.
recipe.
That's a wrap, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We
Thanks
love you
for
guys.
tuning in. Bye.